Two Geeks, Two Beers and a Laptop. Episode 21, Power Rangers.
The girls lead a drive to clean up the environment, but Rita has other plans.
Oh, this is sweet! Kimberly and Trini are about to walk into my waste dump!
Why does it feel like we're being watched? We've got company!
She also sends the Mighty Minotaur to defeat our heroes.
You've had it now!
Can the Power Rangers recycle this monstrous menace? Find out next on the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Number one.
Number two.
Cheers.
No spillage.
Yeah. Welcome to a brand new episode of Two Geeks, Two Beers and a Laptop with me, Tom, and my Ranger pal, which will make sense in a minute, Morgan.
Hello.
So, we'll start with a little bit of housekeeping like we normally do.
Bit of good news.
Yeah, we recently surpassed 3,000 downloads for the first time, which was pretty awesome. So, as you know, we don't know in the grand scheme of things in podcasts, it's probably quite a low number.
We're probably quite small fry, to be honest.
But it sounds good to us, and it's always important. And
it's at least 100 downloads for every single episode. Yeah. Some of them substantially more than that, and you know it's not a big deal in the grand scheme of things. But every single listen, we really appreciate every single listen. So thank you for listening.
And thanks for coming back if you've listened to more than one.
If you haven't listened to more than one, why not?
Got all the time in the world to listen to us now.
We're really funny and entertaining.
Also, you met Michael Landis.
Slide that in there. Yeah. If you did listen to our Lois and Clark episode, you may recall me fanboying over Michael Landis, the first actor to play Jimmy Olsen. I've got a bit of a guy crush on Landis, and I did meet him a couple of days ago.
You may have seen a photo on our Twitter.
Yeah, if you haven't seen a photo, there's one on the Two Geeks Twitter. The moment I met Landis, he said we could be brothers.
He did look very similar,
and I agreed.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the main news, I think, in the world.
I think so.
Let's
just get on with it.
Yeah, so this time we're delving into the world of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It's Morphin time! We sort of briefly mentioned them in the Christmas special, which you might remember, where I went into depth of the Christmas special that they did with Alpha 5
Alpha's Magical Christmas, and I enjoyed that segment and your sort of evisceration of it so much that we've decided to do a full Power Rangers episode.
Well, continuing that theme, I find that whoever is in charge of like the Wikipedia pages for Power Rangers are really deeply passionate about it. So I've nicked a lot of that again this time around.
Excellent. Are these like the not mainstream Wikipedia? These are like the dedicated Power Rangers wikis.
The Christmas one was, whereas this was just normal Wikipedia.
Oh, okay.
And the depth in it is very, very detailed. The beers we've got this time.
This is brilliant. This is an incredible alcoholic segue.
Yeah. Again, just making do with whatever we can find at the time.
Yeah. Do you know what though? This is our first Two Geeks episode we've recorded since we used to live together. We don't anymore. We live separately. Tom has moved. We're recording it in his new flat, and yet he still can't source any beers that more suitably fit our needs.
A lot of wanky places around here, so I think I would be able to find some. So I've gone for Power Rangers Doom Bar. Because of what's her name, Rita Repulsa's impending doom.
The impending doom brought upon the Rangers by Rita Repulsa. But it is a Cornish ale, and I'm a Cornish boy.
It's always very nice. So there we go. So, what do you know about Power Rangers, first of all?
Right, I did used to love the Power Rangers in the 90s.
Every kid did.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just me. I mean, because it was kung fu and it was colourful.
Dinosaurs.
Well,
sort of.
The thing, and it kind of had a weird sort of like teen drama element to it as well when they were at the high school. Kind of like Saved by the Bell with kung fu and robots. The one thing I did. The one thing I do remember and that always bugs me about it was that every single episode of at least the original series Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was exactly the same. Where they first Rita Repulsa in series 1, then Lord Zed in series 2 would launch some evil scheme. The Power Rangers were, it's Morphin time. They would all transform. they would fight. What were they called? The grey blokes, the putty men or something like that.
The putty men.
I think maybe that's just
you've delved into more than I have.
I think that's just what I nicknamed them. They were like the henchmen.
Right. Okay.
And they would fight them. Then there would be some kind of monster or some dragon or some shit.
Yeah.
Power Rangers would like defeat it.
But then
they would go, grow! And it would get really big.
Into like a massive Brachiosaurus type thing.
But why didn't she do that to begin with?
Do that at the first
Do that to begin with.
Why'd you leave
it?
it?
And just destroy the Rangers.
Yeah, done.
They would always leave it to the end.
Yeah.
And then the Power Rangers, all their Zords, which were like their robots they had, they would all join up and make a Megazord.
Yeah.
And again...
But why didn't you do that
at the beginning.
Yeah, stop it.
It would just be like a 5-minute episode with a giant robot fighting a giant dinosaur, and it'd be great, but...
Every week they go, hey, last week we defeated them with our big Megazord.
We should just do the Megazords. Do the Megazords straight away.
And Zordon's probably like, no, you have to wait at least half an hour before you can do that.
Aye, don't rush things, Rangers.
So I'm focusing on the original series,
which is the one we watched.
Yes, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, which launched on August 28th, 1993, and it took much of its footage from the Japanese series Super Sentai.
That's right. So yeah, I only learnt this years later, and it kind of spun me out a little bit that it's all the fight scenes are actually from this Japanese series.
Yeah.
Which is why they dub over these ridiculous sounding noises of them. It was always hiya, hiya, and then I guess hiya, and then I guess they would shoot all the kind of civilian stuff around it, all the stuff with Bulk and Skull at the bullies at the high school.
Yeah. So, starting with the first series, each series revolved around a team of youths recruited and trained by a mentor to morph into the Power Rangers. They are able to use special powers and pilot humongous assault machines called the Zords to overcome various baddies throughout the series.
What was the selection criteria? They to be sort of good-hearted humans.
Teenagers with attitude. Precisely.
These days, that would not mean the same thing. No. You'd have some right little scroty bastards recruited to be the Power Rangers.
No, well, the series we all know and love, Wizard Zordon recruited these teenagers with attitude against Rita Repulsa, but more on them in a bit. When morphed, the Rangers become powerful superheroes wearing precisely colour-coded skin-tight spandex suits and helmets, because why not?
Yeah, and...
But just ludicrous as any other superhero out there.
Yeah, no.
The sort of thing they're wearing.
I don't know how much we're allowed to talk about this, but the slightly...
We will get on to that.
Okay, the slightly dubious racial connotations.
Yeah,
okay, fine.
Yeah. So we've already kind of established this, but when enemies grow to an incredible size, as nearly all do...
they all do!
Rangers bring together the Zords to combine into a larger
Megazord.
Again, why didn't they do that at the start? I didn't know there were some rules, though, for the Power Rangers.
Alright.
They may not use their Ranger powers for personal gain or for escalating a fight unless the enemy does first.
Right.
And nor may they ever disclose their identities to the general public. The penalty for disobeying these rules is the loss of their power. So that's why no one ever...
Very tough taskmaster Zordon.
Iron Man just fucks the rules and tells everyone.
He's a maverick.
Yeah. So yeah, going to mainly focus on the original series. That's the only one I remember. But clearly, the series continued ever since, which I will go on to the huge amounts of.
That baffles me how Power Rangers is still running and has so many different variants.
But is it still the same people that loved them when they were kids our age, or is it a new batch of fans each time?
I'm sure there are these hardcore, fans who have watched the show about our age, they're in their kind of late 20s, early 30s, they watched the show as kids and they've followed it all the way through and they go to conventions and that kind of thing. But then there must be like a younger audience who have just discovered Power Rangers Space Zords 2050.
Surely you can only have 5 years worth of it at a time and go, I'm too old for this.
But I think that's about anything, and it's like who's going to watch Finding Dory? Because the kids who went to see Finding...
I might watch it.
You know what I mean? There'll be adults for nostalgia value, but the kids who watched it at the time are now... it's the same thing when Toy Story 3 came out. We were grown-ups, and we were kids when Toy Story came out.
You think was it aimed at us, or was it aimed at the kids?
I don't know who it's aimed at. Who's Power Rangers aimed at these days?
Well, we'll start with just the intro of the original series.
Amazing.
To get you back into the mood of...
Getting the nostalgia going.
After 10,000 years, I'm free! It's time to conquer Earth!
Alpha, readers escape. Recruit a team of teenagers with attitudes.
never occurred to me before that Zordon is actually the same actor who plays Gunther in Friends. Not really. But similar.
What's up with Zordon? Because he hardly moves his face, really. It's just some weird animation.
Is Zordon like a bloke?
It is.
No, but what I mean, he's definitely a bloke. But is he like a bloke who's like, and that's like him, transporting his image? Or is he literally a head?
Well.
Oh.
So, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers takes place in the fictional town of Angel Grove in California.
Right.
On an exploratory mission, 2 astronauts discover an extraterrestrial container and accidentally release the alien sorceress Rita Repulsa from 10,000 years of confinement in a dump truck, apparently.
Right.
She and her army of evil space aliens set their sights on conquering the nearest planet, Earth. But the wise and sage Zordon, who was responsible for capturing Rita Repulsa, becomes aware of her release and orders his robotic assistant Alpha 5 to select 5 teenagers at altitude to defend the Earth from Rita's attack. But why of all people did he... Right, there's only 5 people that can solve this. A bunch of teenagers from around the corner.
Because they were the kids with the most attitude. I mean, presumably he considered recruiting the California Dreams, who
Yeah.
of course were surf dudes with attitude, but then they were busy playing gigs, so he went for...
What was Hang Time?
Hang Time was...
Hang together.
They were a basketball
Anthony
team.
Anderson.
They were a basketball team, and then California Dreams, they were surf dudes with attitude, kind of groovy.
Surf dudes with attitude, kind of groovy.
Anyway.
So the 5 teams that were chosen were... You got Jason Lee Scott, the Red Ranger.
He was my favourite.
Jason, bold and powerful, you shall command the Tyrannosaurus dinosaur.
Played by Austin St. John, who's now a medical emergency technician.
Amazing.
Yeah. But he was your favourite.
He was my favourite. I don't know what. Maybe just because he was the leader.
Yeah.
I think maybe red was my favourite colour. I was a kid. I didn't have to have very particularly strong reasons for liking someone.
And he's a Red Ranger, even though the actor had a bit of Native American blood in him. Let's start there. Okay.
I didn't even know that one.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
Okay. Next, Trini, the Yellow Ranger, played by Tai Tang, who sadly died in a car accident.
I heard she died. Yeah.
So she was Asian and was the yellow.
Was the Yellow Ranger.
Trini, fearless and agile, the saber-toothed tiger dinosaur will be under your command.
Apparently, in the original Japanese footage, the Yellow Ranger was actually male.
Right.
But that's why the Pink Ranger has a skirt, but the yellow one doesn't.
Did the Pink Ranger have a skirt?
Apparently.
Never even noticed. I just thought she was a sort of very forward-thinking female Power Ranger.
Next, Zach, the Black Ranger, who's played by a black guy called Walter Jones.
Yeah.
Zachary, you are clever and brave. You shall command the Mastodon dinosaur.
He's been in a few things. He popped up in The Shield.
He was in one of my
CSI
favourite
and
TV
stuff.
shows, The Shield, as Rondell Robinson.
Next, you got Kimberly, who's a girl, so they gave her the Pink Ranger outfit.
You would not get away with that these days.
No, not a chance.
I loved Kimberly, though. She was
Played by Amy Jo Johnson.
She was a gymnast, and I loved her.
Kimberly, graceful and smart, the pterodactyl dinosaur shall be yours.
She was in Felicity, apparently.
Do you know how old she was?
What?
She later became, I think I'm right in saying this, she became a stunt woman,
Right.
and she later doubled for Sarah Michelle Gellar on Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Combining 2 of the geekiest shows in existence.
No, I've just looked it up.
Oh.
Absolute bollocks.
Oh.
That the trivia was absolute nonsense.
Well, this is why we have the laptops.
Right,
Yeah?
here we go.
Still interesting.
The Sophia Crawford, who was Amy Jo Johnson's stunt double, was also Sarah Michelle Gellar's stunt double. That makes a lot more sense. That does make a lot more sense now I think about it.
And then you had Billy, the Blue Ranger, played by David Yost, and it sort of said something about me as a person, as a kid, that he was the one I sort of pretended to be.
The little geeky one with the
geeky one with
glasses.
glasses. I wasn't the Red Ranger. I was always
Billy, patient and wise, you shall command the powerful Triceratops dinosaur.
He's now a producer on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Of course he is.
And finally, Tommy, the Green Ranger.
Well, Tommy came in a little later, though.
Yeah,
right?
he did. Played by Jason David Frank, who's now a mixed martial artist, and he's doing quite well on that
consistent.
circuit. Yeah. So you mentioned the whole racist thing.
the whole mild racism. Yeah.
Here's a spoof by College Humor, which perfectly sort of explains it without us having to.
Teenagers with attitude, I have summoned you here to battle a great evil. But be not afraid, I see great potential in all of you. Will, within you I see great strength and durability. For that I endow you with the power of the mighty Mastodon.
I won't let you down, Zordon.
Jen, your cat-like agility can be attributed to your spirit animal, the saber-toothed tiger. You are the Yellow Ranger.
I can do it, Zordon!
And I'm sure your knowledge of mathematics will prove invaluable.
Actually, I'm not very good at...
Moving on, Edward, there are many reasons why I believe you embody the spirit of the Red Ranger.
Whoa. I think I see what you're doing. I'm Native American.
Yes?
So, Native American. Red.
Maybe the Black Ranger because I'm black?
No. I made you the Black Ranger because of your spirit animal.
What about me? I'm Jewish, so let me guess. I'm green because that's the color of money?
No! You're green because you have the power to summon the Great Dragon Zord.
I can believe that?
Well, what about Victor? What color are you gonna make him?
Wow. Really? Oh, well, Victor's gonna be the other Black Ranger.
Okay, sword on. So there are gonna be 2 Black Rangers and 2 White Rangers?
No, Kyle's the White Ranger because he's the leader, and you're the Pink Ranger because you're a girl. I mean, something pterodactyl.
Am I really the most qualified person to be leader? I mean, Vicky was student council president. Don't you think she could do it? Yeah.
A girl leader? That's rich. Sorry, honey, I don't think Lord Zed is going to be scared off by your period.
Whoa. You've got to be kidding me.
Whoa.
Listen, everybody settle down. White is the leader. If Kyle was pink, that would be totally gay.
Excuse me, and what exactly would be wrong with that?
A gay Jew? Jesus Christ. James, I'm beginning to sense great, fear in you, and you might turn to the dark side.
The dark side? Where'd you read that?
So I'm thinking you're out, and so is other black guy.
Oh, where did he go? What'd you do with him, man?
Now we're too short.
No, we're not, because this was my plan all along, because I see great power emanating from Jorge.
Okay.
Jorge, power sombrero.
God, I mean, come on, that's not even a ranger suit. Now this is ridiculous. I'm out of here. Let's go, guys.
Guys, where are you going? Nobody has the power to defy the great will. Better not steal anything on your way out.
That video aptly called Zordon is a racist.
Very good, yeah.
Even as a kid, that bugs me.
Well, Zordon is a bit of a dick, really, because he's just sort of got these guys from nowhere and sort of ruined their lives. So they were just at high school having the time of their life, and now they're just having to do... It's like Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, these children. At least that was their destiny, though. He's just come in and,
Well, you asked about Zordon. He was an interdimensional being trapped in a time warp, apparently. He is the wise mentor, as we all know. And he once had a human form.
Right,
but
did
now,
have a human
because
form.
He's stuck in this, he now appears, for some reason, as a floating head in an energy tube.
Of course, okay.
Yeah. And I'll briefly mention Alpha 5.
Your favourite character?
We've talked about him in depth in the Christmas special.
Zordon's robot sidekick.
Yeah, a multifunctional, apparently, semi-sentient automation from Edinoy. He was Zordon's trusted robotic assistant, like Crichton and Red Dwarf, but responsible for daily operations and upkeep of the command centre. So he was just the maid, really.
The janitor. Yeah. Edinoy, more like Tomanoy.
It gets quite dark. You mentioned that you got the Green Ranger.
Yeah.
So after consecutive failures, Rita decided to adopt a new method for conquering Earth, destroying the Power Rangers once and for all, by attacking them with one of their own.
Yeah.
Using her magic, she kidnapped and brainwashed a local teen whose fighting skills proved to equal that of Jason's in a martial arts contest. Tommy Oliver. He passes Rita's test, becoming the Green Power Ranger, much like the sort of the Black Agent in... was it the Black Agent in Captain Scarlet?
Captain Black.
Yeah,
he was like one of their own turned against them.
Exactly.
But what I liked about the Green Ranger was originally the original Power Rangers all had the power of pterodactyl, triceratops, all dinosaurs. But then they just went Dragon Zord. That's not a thing. Dragon Zord. It's like
unicorn Zord.
It's like we've run out of dinosaurs, guys. We've done like 6 dinosaurs. We're out. Quick, Dragon Zord. What were they thinking?
So entrusted with Rita's Sword of Darkness, the source for the continuance of the evil spell he has fallen victim to, Tommy becomes dangerously close to defeating the Power Rangers, especially when Rita causes a solar eclipse, which temporarily drains the Megazord's power.
What? Like Superman?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
However, the Green Ranger is ultimately defeated and the Sword of Darkness is destroyed by Jason. Now free from Rita's spell, Tommy chooses to use his Green Ranger powers to assist the other Rangers in defeating the evil that gave them to him in the first place.
You okay, Tommy? What's happening to you? You're no longer under Rita's power. My head's spinning. You'll be okay, man. What have I done? What you did under Rita's influence. You own the power now. Fight by our side and we can defeat Rita. After everything that's happened? Tommy, we need you. Where you belong.
His Zord, the Dragon Zord, is reconfigured to enable it to help form more powerful Zord combinations.
Oh, and even so like an Uber Zord.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So You were saying before we were recording this that because he was the baddie and then he became like the favourite.
Yeah, so he turns good, is what I remember. Obviously, he becomes the Green Ranger, but then later on he sacrifices his Green Ranger powers to save all the Power Rangers. So then he kind of goes away again, but then he comes back as the White Ranger,
right? Yeah,
because there was a big mystery of who was the White Ranger, which was I think we talked about this in the Christmas episode. Yeah. This was teased when Power Rangers was at the height of its powers, no pun intended. Right. The tie-in dance single, which ended with a tease of the White Ranger's identity,
produced by Simon Cowell.
One of his finest pop offerings.
Yeah. Here's an example then of just a typical Morphin Time.
I love these bits.
Yeah, ready?
Yeah.
Alright then, it's Morphin Time! Dragon Sword! Mastodon!
Pterodactyl!
Triceratops!
Saber-tooth tiger!
Tyrannosaurus! Yeah! We're back! We're ready to morph into action! 6 working together to fight evil!
And stop Rita and all her menacing monsters!
From destroying our planet Earth! And ruling the universe with evil!
Look out, Rita! We're not backing down! We're the Power Rangers!
Rangers, with our new friend comes new power. Use your flute, Tommy, and bring life to the Dragon Zord. For when he combines with the Mastodon, Triceratops, and Saber-tooth Tiger, a new fighting machine will be at our disposal.
Alright! Aw, man, it's awesome! Look, they're coming together! Go, go, Power Rangers! Go, go, Power Rangers! Go, go, Power Rangers! Mighty Morphin Power Rangers! Go, go, Power Rangers!
Rangers, I give you Dragon Zord in fighting mode.
Go, Power Rangers! Check it out! Man, it's more phenomenal!
The safety of the universe is once again in your hands, Power Rangers.
Amazing. There's so many things I don't remember. I do not remember, as I said, the Pink Ranger wearing a skirt. That's completely off my memory. I don't remember the Green Ranger's little magic flute.
What you couldn't see in that clip was that he obviously the original Japanese bits. When he was playing the flute, makes him look like he's just stroking his chin.
He's just got a feel tapping his mouth with his fingers. I've just remembered.
It just looks so lame.
But I've remembered why Jason, the Red Ranger, was my favourite now.
Why?
His voice.
Yeah.
His voice is good. He goes, "It's Morphin Time!" And then he goes, Tyrannosaurus! He says it like that. That's why he's my favourite.
Tommy's trying desperately to copy him.
Yeah.
Dragon Sword!
See, Saber-tooth Tiger! Tyrannosaurus!
And
easily the best.
Mastodon! my favourite though is because he looks like he's scared of saying it. What's his one?
Yeah, he's
Triceratops! He's like really scared. He like blinks while he's doing it. So apparently, following production of the first 20 episodes of season 2, Austin St. John, your favourite, Ty Taptrang and Walter Emmanuel Jones left the show after contract disputes. And to disguise the incident, a combination of body doubles, voice doubles and stock footage were used to continue just featuring the characters for 8 episodes. So there was 8 episodes, but they weren't actually in it.
I'm sure I remember they had an exit storyline.
Well, the subplot of those 3 leaving Angel Grove for the World Peace Conference was made later on. And then he brought in their replacements, Rocky, Aisha and Adam.
Rubbish. So wait, they did that all that with stock footage?
For ages, yeah. Before they
left. Maybe my like child brain and my fuzzy memory has papered over the cracks, but I seem to remember them all like leaving.
Well, if they did, they did it very,
Yeah, they did it very smoothly.
It's like in Back to the Future 2, I didn't realise it was Michael J. Fox as his daughter.
Right, yeah.
I just thought it was a girl.
Yeah.
Quite a pretty girl.
Have you've seen Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey?
Yeah.
And do you remember the bit where they go to hell?
Yeah.
And they meet Bill's grandmother, who is the actor who played Bill.
Alex Winter.
It's Alex Winter in like incredible makeup. Yeah.
Oh, your dear old granny.
So while the reason for their departure was debated for many years, in 2014, Austin St. John would confirm that the departure was due to the low salaries the stars are being paid. He said...
Oh, they didn't have to do much to it. They filmed the high school scenes, and then they just went into a recording booth and went, ha, ha, awesome, super cool, phenomenon.
But it's when something becomes so massive, it's like...
that's true, actually.
He was saying how...
Where's my money?
Yeah, he was saying, I could have worked at the window at McDonald's and probably made the same money in the first season. It was disappointing, it was frustrating, and it made a lot of us angry.
And then he ended up working at McDonald's. Yeah. No, that's not fair. Was he a biomedical engineer?
Yeah, doing well. And then you had... Power Rangers movie, which I did remember seeing at the cinema at the time. Yeah. But apparently, it's not actually in canon.
What?
Apparently, that's what it says here.
Ivan Ooze is not canon?
Yeah, apparently.
No, but because they...
It's the same characters and things and everything, but apparently it's not really connected to the overall plot.
But I thought because in Power Rangers the movie, don't they get turned into they get new ninja powers or something? That gives them different outfits. And I don't think I really watched it beyond that point.
They had, I remember now.
Jimmy, they had ninja outfits. And I never watched it beyond that point, but I assumed that was setting up the next phase of Power Rangers. No. But apparently not. No. Oh, alright.
When the evil wizard Ivan Ooze is freed by construction work, he takes revenge against Zordon for imprisoning him. As his powers are too strong for the Power Rangers, Alpha 5 uses the last of the command center's power to send them to the planet Phaedos to learn the ways of the Ninjetti.
See, and that's
the warrior Ninjetti. To stop Ooze before he can conquer the universe.
Yeah. You may have actually seen Ivan Ooze again more recently in the movie X-Men Apocalypse, played by Oscar Isaac.
It does look very similar. Well, do you want to see the trailer?
Yes, please.
It's time to pay the piper.
Uh-oh, we're in trouble. Something's coming along. Let's stop.
Let's do it, guys. It's morphin' time.
Have a nice trip.
Watch the birdie.
Bye-bye. Gotta love it.
Taking over the world is one thing. Finding good help to run it for you, that's the killer.
And Jenny! 8-ball, corner pocket. Man, you're ugly. Sensitive, too. Let's do it!
It's the Zords! Yeah, Zord Schmords, I'll crush them like roaches.
Ninja Zords! Rockets away! Pay attention now, here it comes!
I'm not gonna lie, everything about that movie looks a lot worse than I remember.
Yeah, the most 90s trailer ever. That
Shampoo, trouble. And they've replaced the Megazord effects, the toy effects with CGI, but dreadful CGI. Bring back the toys.
Reboot looked better.
Yeah, it really did.
And I didn't think their outfits could look any lamer in the original series, but those ninjas,
the Ninjetti outfits, not dreadful. Which is, I'm glad they didn't carry that on.
Right, so I'm not going to really go into depth at all of the next series of Power Rangers, I'm afraid, because it would be about 8 hours long.
There's a lot of Power Rangers.
But I will list you every single series. Okay. So, we got Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in 1993. Then you had Power Rangers Zeo in 1996.
Yeah, I kind of vaguely remember that.
Then you had Turbo, a Power Rangers movie in 1997, which I don't remember at all. Then Power Rangers Turbo in 1997.
Wait, Power Rangers Turbo again?
There's
a spin-off from the... Okay.
Power Rangers in Space.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
Power Rangers Lost Galaxy.
I remember that one.
How do you remember any of these?
No, I remember that one because there was a toy advert that went, Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. That was the jingle. That's all I know about it.
Then you got Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue in 2000.
No, now I'm lost.
Power Rangers Time Force in 2001.
No, wait, I do remember Time Force. Just toy adverts mainly.
Power Rangers Wild Force in 2002.
Ugh.
Power Rangers Ninja Storm in 2003. Power Rangers Dino Thunder in 2004.
Why are they so why do they have to change it every single year? Calm down.
Can you imagine any other series doing that? Where every single year they had to create a brand new thing. Power Rangers, I forgot where I am now.
You did Animal Force or something like that?
Ninja Storm, Dino Thunder.
Yeah.
And then Power Rangers Space Patrol Delta in 2005. Power Rangers Mystic Force in 2006.
Right.
Power Rangers Operation Overdrive in 2007. Power Rangers Jungle Fury in 2008.
Jungle Fury? That sounds like a blaxploitation movie from the 70s.
Power Rangers RPM, and for the life of me I couldn't find out what that stood for.
RPM?
In 2009. Power Rangers Samurai and Super Samurai in 2011. Power Rangers Megaforce, just losing ideas.
Do you know what? It sounds like they've got like a Power Rangers name generator on a website, and they're just clicking. It's like Force, Space Force, Time Force, Power Force, Power Space, Power Bar.
Then you had a spin-off of that, Super Megaforce in 2014.
Super Megaforce!
Next you had Power Rangers Dino Charge, and then Dino Supercharge in 2015.
No.
And coming next year, still going strong, Power Rangers Ninja Steel.
At least that's a bit original. Ninja Steel, Mega Dino, Super Magic Force.
But there's a new movie coming.
Another movie?
Yeah, the actual, there is.
Oh, yeah, I thought you meant like the original cast. No, they're doing like a remake, aren't they? Yeah.
So it's like a reboot, remake, whatever you want to call it, with the same sort of characters as the first one. Elizabeth Banks playing Rita Repulsa.
Which, again, that caused a bit of controversy, because, of course, the original actress to play Rita was Asian. So 30 years on, 60-odd variants, Power Rangers, still kind of racist.
Yeah. And there was a few like rip-offs at the time, shows which are very similar. You had Big Bad Beetleborgs.
I remember VR Troopers. We are VR Troopers. 3 virtual reality. Great. I remember that. It was great. It was on Fox Kids.
Countdown, control. 4, 3, 2, 1. We are virtual reality.
You had a Masked Rider, which is one.
Masked Rider was actually a spin-off from Power Rangers.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
So he appeared. It was again the same thing where it was a Japanese show that they sort of filmed, English language sections around. And he appeared in one episode of Power Rangers and then got his own show. And he was like kind of like Power Rangers, but on a bike in space.
Right.
Yeah. And his theme tune went Masked Rider, boom, boom, Masked Rider.
That sounds like Informer.
It's very similar to Informer by Snow.
Yeah. Then you also had apparently the Mystic Knights of Tur-Na-Nog, which sounds
Tur-Na-Nog.
Yeah, it sounds dodgy.
Don't remember that.
And you had Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad.
Right.
And a cartoon series which came out a year after Power Rangers launch called The Tattoo Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills. Sort of like the Avenger Penguins of the piece.
Ron Seal title that.
And just a little bit of trivia that I found. Apparently his name is Billy Cranston, and it was named after the then unknown Bryan Cranston, who was doing voice work for Saban Entertainment at the time.
Wow! Billy's name's Bryan Cranston.
Exactly.
Note, this episode was recorded just days before Bryan Cranston was announced to be voicing Zordon in the upcoming Power Rangers movie. What were the chances?
So that's kind of the main journey of the Power Rangers, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Quite a journey.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much more we can delve into. Maybe one day we will do Zeo or Neo or
Zeo or Time Force or
that. Yeah. But it was good at the time, I think, because it was appealing to both girls and boys, I think.
Yeah.
Which was rare at the time.
And it did the thing, we've talked about this in previous episodes, but it did the thing that now is mainly the domain of the cinema. So, if you want kind of family, well, not family adventure, but kids adventures that are kind of action adventure, you have to go and see a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
There's nothing, and then there's great stuff for very young kids on TV, but it doesn't feel like there's anything for the kind of like, maybe like 8 to 12, 8 to 14 age range. You want these kind of like these great, action adventure, action-packed shows, live action animation. They don't exist for kids anymore. At least it doesn't feel like they do.
Just go to cinema, as you say.
Yeah, not since like Ben 10. That was like the last thing I remember, where he was kind of like a cool spy. That was after my time, but I was like, this is a cool spy. But yeah.
So yeah, that's about it. Little bit of housekeeping before we say what we're doing next time. If you ever want to email us with any suggestions,
we have an email address now.
podcast@2geeks2beers.com.
And you may have guessed from that, but our website is also 2geeks2beers.com, where you can find all our previous episodes and our podlets, where we react shorter episodes, where we react to contemporary pop culture events and moments and movies.
And we're also obviously on Twitter and Facebook, which is @2geekscast. So before I play us out, what are we doing next time?
Next time, because our point and click episode was I think
popular.
One of them most popular, and I think surprisingly popular. It was the first time we've done a gaming episode, and its popularity kind of took us by surprise. So we're going to do another gaming episode, but slightly different, all about the console, the Sega Mega Drive, or Sega Genesis, if you're American.
Yeah.
And wrong, it's the Mega Drive. So we will be looking back at that console and recollecting about some of our favourite games.
So I'm going to leave you all with a little ditty. We did play briefly in the Christmas special.
Oh, it's worth having full length, full blast.
This is the official Mighty Morphin Power Rangers hit single, which was the artist were the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and the single was called Power Rangers. So they didn't have a follow-up, didn't have an album.
No.
But here it is. Keep listening to the end for the big
tease. Yeah. Who is the White Ranger? It's Tommy. Spoilers.
Contact the Power Rangers at once.